Hi everyone, welcome back to Cooking with Rose International Cuisine. For those of you who know me, you know that I'm actually part Indian and part Malay or Polynesian. My parents' family on both sides actually hailed from Singapore. My late dad was of Indian descent and an excellent chef, and so my siblings and I grew up eating all types of different curry and spices and Indian flatbreads. In fact, my dad used to own a very small restaurant when I was very little and serving only one thing, and that was roti canai, which is a specialty Indian flatbread that you find mainly in Southeast Asia, particularly in Malaysia, Singapore, and Indonesia, and of course curry to go with the roti. Some of you have asked me to teach you two things. One of the questions was, can we make your coconut chicken curry for just two people, but with a whole lot less ingredients, spices, and steps? And can you show us how to make naan bread? Well, the answer to both of it, y'all, is definitely yes. So let's get started. I'm going to show y'all how to make restaurant quality chicken curry and naan bread, and ready all in less than 1 hour. So let's get started. Last August, I posted my restaurant quality chicken curry video that serves 6 to 8 people. It has a lot more ingredients and steps, which is common in traditional Indian cooking. However, if you are budget conscious or don't want to waste money on additional spices that you rarely use, or perhaps are just starting to learn to cook Indian food, today I will show you how to make the same delicious and authentic chicken curry with less spices, steps, and time. The few spices needed can be found in most grocery stores. We are also going to make naan bread that goes well with any type of curry. So let's begin. Here's a little background on naan flatbread. Naan is a common plain flatbread that's eaten all over the world today, not just in Indian nations or Southern and Central Asia. Traditionally, it is made with flour, preferably bread flour, yeast, salt, and water, and is cooked in tandoor, a clay oven that is really a clay pit that holds a small fire with wood charcoal. Well, I don't have a tandoor. I typically use a cast iron skillet to cook my naan. You can add yogurt or milk to make it softer and fluffy. When making plain naan to go with flavorful curry, I like my naan to be just right, not too dry and not too heavy either, so I typically use water and yogurt. Here are the ingredients to make naan bread for two. 1.5 cups all-purpose flour or bread flour, 3 tablespoons plain yogurt, 1 tablespoon cooking oil, 2 teaspoons sugar, 1 teaspoon yeast, 1 teaspoon salt, and enough lukewarm water. Here's what you need for the chicken curry. 3 to 4 pieces boneless chicken thigh, between 3/4 pound to 1 pound total. For the spices, you're going to need 2 tablespoons coriander powder, 1 tablespoon cumin powder, 1 tablespoon curry powder, half a teaspoon chili powder or cayenne pepper, and 1 cinnamon stick. The rest of the ingredients are half a cup coconut milk, 1 small onion, 1 small tomato, 3 cloves of garlic, 2 small potatoes quartered into about 1-inch pieces, 1 large carrot cut into about 1-inch pieces, some cooking oil, salt to taste, and fresh parsley for optional garnishing. First, let's prepare the yeast. Using a measuring cup or a small bowl, add 1/3 cup warm water between 109 and 115 degrees Fahrenheit, then add in yeast and about half of sugar. Stir a little and set aside for 5 minutes to activate. If you are new to this, use a kitchen thermometer as hot water will kill the yeast. Warm water and sugar will not only help wake up the yeast, but also assist the dough to proof quicker. Our next step is making the naan dough. The dough needs to proof, and while it's rising, we can cook the curry. In a large bowl, add in flour, the remaining sugar, and salt. With a fork or spoon, stir for a few seconds so dry ingredients are well combined. Once the yeast has activated and is foamy, add in wet ingredients, the yeast mixture, oil, and yogurt to the flour. With a fork, stir for a few seconds, then use your hand and start mixing everything together and start the kneading process. Add warm water a little bit at a time until a soft dough is formed. The dough is almost ready once it is not sticking on the sides of the bowl. Here's a tip. If you want the dough to proof quicker, use your oven. So at this time, preheat your oven to between 100 and 110 degrees Fahrenheit. Keep the oven door closed. I use my lightly heated oven to proof dough often when making all types of bread with yeast. Then sprinkle some flour on a clean flat surface or baking mat buddy and continue kneading for only about 1 or 2 more minutes. Shape the dough into a ball, transfer the dough back into the bowl. Then coat the dough with a little bit of oil so it won't stick to the bowl when it rises. Cover the bowl with saran wrap or a clean kitchen towel. Then let it rise for about 35 to 40 minutes in the preheated oven. While the naan dough is proofing, let's cook the chicken curry. First, cut each boneless chicken thigh into 2 equal halves. If you only have an hour or less to make curry and naan, then using boneless chicken and smaller pieces will definitely reduce your cooking time. Once every piece is cut, set aside. Next, using a food processor, puree onion and garlic together. Add a little bit of water to help with the process. Once pureed, transfer mixture into a bowl. Then puree the tomato and set aside. Gather all ingredients so we can start cooking. Heat a medium-sized pot on medium-high heat. Once heated, add 5 to 6 tablespoons of cooking oil. Once the oil is hot, saute the cinnamon stick for just a few seconds until fragrance and the cinnamon stick starts to expand a little. Add pureed onion and saute for a minute or 2 on medium heat. Add in pureed tomato, stir for a few seconds, then pour in all curry powders and chili powder. Blend everything together, add about a 1/4 cup of water so the spices don't stick to the pot or burn. Stir spices for 2 more minutes. Then add chicken, potatoes, and carrots and blend everything together so chicken and vegetables are well coated with the spices. Add 1/2 cup of water, salt to taste, and mix well. Cover completely and cook for 5 minutes on medium-low heat. Check after 2 or 3 minutes and stir. After 5 minutes, add in coconut milk. Stir, check consistency, add a 1/4 cup of water and salt to taste. Put the lid back on, almost covered, however just slightly ajar to prevent coconut milk from curdling. Simmer like that on medium-low heat for 15 to 20 minutes or until chicken and vegetables are tender and cooked but not overcooked. Uncover and stir a couple of minutes and check consistency. Add additional water if needed. The curry will thicken some once it is cooked and removed from the fire. The thickness that I prefer for a creamy coconut chicken curry is somewhat like a medium thick soup or stew, not too runny and not too thick. Once the curry is cooked, add some fresh parsley if desired. Turn off the heat and cover the pot completely and set aside. It's time to fry the naan. After 35 or 40 minutes, the dough would have risen quite a bit. Remove the dough from the oven and punch out all excess air. Then, immediately start preheating a large frying pan or a large cast iron pan on medium-high heat. I typically use a large cast iron pan to cook my naan bread. By the time you had flattened out your dough, your pan will be hot and ready. Sprinkle flour onto a clean flat surface. Cut the dough into 2 equal pieces. If your pan is a little smaller, you may want to divide the dough into 3 pieces. Using a rolling pin, flatten out the dough into a round circle as big as the size of the pan. Once your pan is really hot, add 1 or 2 tablespoons oil. The oil should get hot within seconds. Transfer the first dough into the pan. If your pan is a little too hot too soon, turn down the heat a little, but not lower than medium. As a flat bread, the naan will cook quickly. You want it crispy on the outside, but soft on the inside. The naan will start to rise a little bit with bubbles, which typically means that the naan is about ready to be flipped over. Nevertheless, check the bottom side to make sure it is brown enough to your liking and ready to be flipped. Before flipping, drizzle a little bit of oil on the uncooked side, then immediately flip the naan over. Or flip over the naan and add a little bit of oil on the edges of the pan to give the uncooked side that nice golden brown spots. Cook each side for about 3 minutes each until golden brown. Repeat the process with the second piece or the third piece and dinner is ready. Hey y'all, our chicken curry and naan bread are done, and we did all this from scratch in less than 1 hour. It is delicious. They came out perfect. The chicken curry is delicious. I'm going to give it a taste. I'll let you know. Perfect. Just the right amount of spices. And the naan bread is crunchy on the outside and tender on the inside. That's how you like it. So I hope you try this at home. You will think that this actually came from some expensive Indian restaurant. If you have any questions while you're doing it, just drop me a line, send me a message, email me, and I hope to see you soon. So peace, love, and see you soon.